Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, can you hear me? No complaints, right? Well, okay, so let's get started. Elaine, please.
Please stand if able and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Chaplain. An hour.
Bernie just told me I need to limit this to just 1 hour. Which, and I will try. I will try. No communion today, is that what that means? Let's pray together. Creator God, the God of wisdom, we ask that you will bless this gathering. Assist us in having enjoyable yet constructive dialogues that will extend our horizons. Help us think of methods to flesh out the numerous ideas that have been given. Empower us to be innovative, problem solvers, and having what we need to do the work ahead of us, and strengthen our already strong community spirit. Help us to work within the values that we all have in common. Empower each of us to apply our gifts to the betterment of our community. In your name, amen.
Thank you. Ms. Debbie? Oh, yeah, we'll do that.
Hi everyone. We finally got some rain. More coming. Turn off the sprinklers. Capture some water in some reservoirs. Hoping for, they say it's La Nina, so hopefully it'll change to an El Nino. Anyway, okay, so we talked about at last town hall costs and how they're creeping up, and that's not anything different with what's going on with the rest of the world right now. And so now the survey regarding what your thoughts were regarding continental breakfast and happy hour, and by and large, most folks still want to continue that. So we put our heads together, and quite a few of you had some great ideas as far as some cost-saving ideas. We kicked around a couple ideas, so I want to propose the following. Me and Kim have been working hard to reduce food and disposables costs, and we very much appreciate the valuable input we have received from the residents. We are planning, if you're in agreement, on moving the continental breakfast from the Red Chair Lounge to the Bistro as of next Monday. We can still have the continental breakfast, but the idea is that it will still give you the opportunity to socialize. It will be at no cost, but the process and oversight will be streamlined for the staff. This minor change will enable the staff to more easily manage restocking of items when needed and assisting residents. We will also be redesigning our happy hour. One thing about the happy hour is there are very few people. The people who like it really like it, but there are very few folks who actually partake. And because it's right before dinner, we're gonna be kind of lightening the menu, the fare that we offer, but we'll still have it there. So there's still the opportunity to nibble and socialize, but we'll do the hot appetizers for more special events. So hopefully we're gonna be okay with that. We'll see how it goes over the next couple weeks and see what y'all think. And then of course, we're also looking at other ways to reduce disposable paper and plastic costs, and incentivize folks who usually don't come to dinner to come to dinner. All ideas are welcome. So we're really trying to get you all back to the dining room for dinner. So as an idea, would you use something like this? If we provided you, those of you who do take to-go items, a reusable grocery bag with your room number on it, and then you return it like 2 or 3 in the afternoon if you're going to be requesting a to-go dinner. So I'm gonna go ahead and order these and let me or Ernest know that you're interested in the reusable, and we'll get you a customized bag with your apartment number on it. And that should kind of cut down on some of the big bag that we use and that costs so much money. Okay, good. What's it? We can, why don't we wait till I get back to my desk and Ernest is there, and you can certainly just give Ernest a call or just tell the front desk and I'll let them know to start a sheet of all the reusable. Yes.
My question is, it may be a problem to get people to return the bag in time for the next day. Could we have 2 bags, so we have one to each other, every other day? When we come down to get ours, we could turn the second one in.
It's not a bad idea. Let me do the costing out. They weren't that expensive. I think it was like $44 for 100, which is really reasonable, I think, to be able to continue to reuse these. So let me just double check on the pricing, and I think it's something we can manage.
It would be 2 trips.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, on to fun things. Thanksgiving buffet will be served on Thursday, Thanksgiving, which is the 24th, from noon to 3. Please call Ernest for reservations. The buffet will be served in the Red Chair Lounge with seating available in the Grove, the Vault, and El Capitan. Oh, I get to say this part. Holiday points will be charged, but a glass of complimentary wine will be served. COVID update. Currently 2 staff members, 0 residents, so thank you to you all for continuing to wear your masks in common indoor locations. And just FYI, and you've probably heard it, you know, all the pediatric beds are full from RSV, this respiratory symptom, virus. And so respiratory illnesses are going around that aren't COVID. So as much as you can keep your mask on, as much as you can stand it, please do. It'll keep you safer. And as always, please submit a work order for any maintenance requests, including if you see any pests in your apartment, so the maintenance team can eradicate. And you know what I mean by pests. They're about this big and brown, gross, the babies. Ugh. We've talked to the city of Anaheim and asked them to check do a treatment in their sewer. They say there's nothing there, of course. So we'll just continue to eradicate where we see them. And then we've got Phil and Lynn Sportzel, who I don't see here today, just moved into 357 from Napa. Very, very, very nice family, so please welcome them when you see them. And then Terry Barker, who I saw, oh, there she is. Hi, Terry, and Terry 172, who's joined us. Thank you, Liz. Welcome, Terry. Hopefully you're getting settled in. And this is the good news. Sales and marketing has 9 more scheduled move-ins before the end of the year. So we'll be able to welcome quite a few new folks. That's it for me. Oh, Ellen. I'll repeat.
Okay. I know it's aesthetic to have the flowers on the dining room table, but I would be willing to do without the aesthetics if that would save a lot of money, because I would think that that is quite expensive for a while to see how much it saved in the budget.
Okay, Ellen had said that the centerpieces, the flowers at the tables are lovely, but probably expensive. I know that I've asked Judy and Julie to look into Trader Joe's. oftentimes will donate to places like us. So I'm gonna ask them to also expand that to grocery stores to see if we can get any donations of flowers out, or maybe, you know, towards the end of their pretty time. But that saves money too. So all good ideas, so thank you. I think that's it for me.
Thank you. Okay, we need to approve the minutes. Are there any comments or corrections to the October minutes? Do you have any comments to it? No? Any motion to approve them? Second? Second. Okay, our minutes are approved. Thank you.
You might have a vote. All in favor?
What? Okay, Linda. Elaine.
Last Wednesday looked sort of like this morning. And we were really disappointed to have to cancel the carnival because a lot of people had put in a lot of time and effort getting ready for this event. And we were all looking forward to playing the games and having some fun. But it's not all lost. We have packed it up. They have given us a cage to store all of the carnival games and papers and hole punches and all of the parts. And sometime in the spring, after the holidays, we will again schedule the carnival.
Thank you, Elaine. Linda, did you have any? Doug?
Finances for the month of October, these are the totals in each of the accounts that we keep track of. The resident council operating fund has remained the same at $520. Earthquake committee is $184. The music committee $21,930. The employee appreciation fund, which is increasing due to your donations now, is up to $107,198. A musical theater birthday show with a total of $30,424. The hobby shop has remained the same at $192. Clay's Art Studio, $27. And the scholarship fund with a total of $43,997. For a total budget of all of our accounts of $204,472. I will make a mention that several people have asked me, why is there so much money in our employee appreciation fund? Before I got here, the care center was operating with significantly more employees than we have now on campus. And as a result, the monies that were given that year, many of those employees were gone before the normal distribution took place. So there was an abundance of monies in that account, and that has been carried forward. As you probably noticed this year, the recommended giving amount was lowered so that we can start decreasing that as we go on. But as the new Summer House 2 opens in the future, we probably will have significantly more employees again back to distribute employee appreciation fund monies. So we feel like in time that this will decrease over time to a more reasonable and manageable amount. We don't like to have tremendous amounts of money laying around, and I understand that, but we think that if we make a bunch of changes now, we'll have to make a bunch of changes later on. And if we maintain status quo and manage it properly over time, that it probably will equal out to a normal, manageable amount. Are there any other questions? I saw a hand back here.
Debbie was kind enough to pick up the resident philanthropic fund figure for us last month. And I don't think it would hurt just to add that on as an addendum to your report, Doug. It's a substantial amount of money, and it gratifies me to know that whatever we are contributing is somehow being kept track of.
I understand that, Don. The philanthropic committee is not a part of the resident council. That operates in conjunction with Front Porch, and I don't have access to any of the funds that might be in that account or accounts in that. We would have to go to Front Porch to get that information because that is not a function of the resident council.
Wouldn't that take not only a phone call to get that information once a month?
Well, we've talked to Jill about that, and she's looking how she could do something like that. She's working on the problem.
We will make that request to Jill. As you all are aware, there is going to be a luncheon, I think, in December, in which Jill will make a presentation for the Charitable Care Fund, and probably the Philanthropy Committee will have a function in that possibly, or we could have that available at that time. We'll have that for you. Any other questions? Yes.
What's your deadline for this year, for the Employee Appreciation Fund?
The question was asked, what is the deadline for the Employee Appreciation Fund monies to be donated? We will take donations throughout the whole year. However, we will make that distribution probably early in December. We've been told that the accounting system for Walnut Village is changing, and it's in the process of transition right now. So Joel will give us all of the names of the people for distribution. We will make calculations on the number of hours that they have worked and make those designations a little later, but it'll be probably a week or two later than it was last year. So you can give a donation anytime during the year. This is normally the big time when we're doing it. So up until Thanksgiving, I think would be a reasonable time. Any other questions? Yes.
The cutoff date for this year will be November 15th about, because that's when Joel totals all the hours up. He's already got the names in the listing, and he's establishing the number of hours now. And we can't go too far ahead of that because it's difficult to accumulate all the hours to have the correct number for the distribution. So November 15th is when the employees that are employed up to November 15th will get the check. Those that leave or are employed after November 15th will not get a share in that till next year.
Right. That doesn't impact those who want to donate to the fund. However, that will just be for us as the resident council to make those calculations as to the distribution. We have plenty of money for the distribution this year. So if you want to make a contribution anytime during the year, that's fine as well.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Okay, let's start with the committee reports. Mary? Dining and food services.
Well, here. Well, Debbie stole the thunder. Mary, talk down into the microphone. Debbie stole the thunder. We had discussed happy hour appetizers, continental breakfast, are not solving the socializing of the residents. We hoped at the time it would encourage residents to come and meet with other residents. This is costly and beneficial only to a few people rather than encouraging residents to meet in the Red Chair Lounge, to meet and greet. If anyone has dietary problems, Kim would be glad to meet with you and talk over your diet. I think that is the next meeting, and I want to encourage people to come to the committee meeting, and it's the fourth Thursday of the month, Tuesday of the month at 11 o'clock in the LLC. And we'd love to have you get your complaints and your compliments together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Earthquake preparedness, Judy?
So switch things up a little bit, and I'll do music first this time.
Okay.
Chorale is rehearsing weekly for a holiday concert, which will be the third Saturday in December. I'll give you the date later. The Walnut Village Chimers will be playing several hymns for the church service on Sunday, November 13th. And they're rehearsing for their upcoming Christmas program, possibly the second Tuesday in December. Any questions about the music committee? Earthquake. We had a drill on the 20th, and it went quite well. We had a two-part drill, and the resident part of it was not very much involved in the UCI CareDex part of it, but we did have 19 volunteers who agreed to be evacuated, and they carried a little electronic device that would record their location. So we really want to thank everybody who participated in that part of it. And I want to just say a few things about how the drill went. The bell was rung at the right time, both to open and close. And if you thought it was long, it was because the Anaheim Fire Department person who created the minute-by-minute schedule scheduled it to ring at exactly 11:30, which it did. And so the door takes were hung properly, as nearly as we could tell. We didn't have any false screen ones, although we're not really sure, but we think that it worked much better this time. If the apartment's empty, there should be no door take. In the past, let's see, no, what we held drills for our team, people who carry the walkie-talkies, both in July and August, to tighten up our use of the walkie-talkies and also the reporting. So the reporting is going so well now that we only had to call back about 1 or 2 times to get the missing information. And we are just tickled pink about that. It's taken a long time to get that training going, and we're getting the room number first, and then the problem, and then who to send. And the who to send part of it worked so well because Debbie scheduled 3 nurses, 1 for each floor, 3 maintenance, 1 for each floor, and 3 housekeeping, 1 for each floor. And so the minute the problem was found, it was reported, and there were people right there to take care of it. So there may be a few places where nobody came, but I got good reports on people showing up. We had some problem with our walkie-talkies again, more than we'd had in the past. We had a lot of dropouts. We found out a couple places that did not get good reception, that we weren't aware of before, and some that we were aware of that we need to work on again. And for some reason, our channel 12 is bleeding into channel 13 when those people sit directly above and below each other. So that's a concern, and we don't know how to fix it. So I think that's everything. Oh, there will be a new orientation class in January 2023. So anyone who's moved in, Terry Barker, you will be invited to that new class along with your block captain and anyone else who's moved in, Schwartzels and anyone else who's moved in. So if you've got new people on your floor, you can tell them there will be an orientation class in January. Any questions on earthquake? Thank you.
Okay, hospitality. Ellen,
The Hospitality Committee, we're happy to welcome Terry Barker into Department 172 since our last resident council, and we want to thank everyone who has invited Terry to eat and join them at the Bistro or the Grove. Her phone number has been added to the resident directory in the post on the front page. And the other couple that have moved in just last week. They have requested we not share their telephone number yet because they are very swamped with trying to get moved in. They moved further from afar and did not have general transitions to help, so it's just them, and they feel overwhelmed right now. I'm keeping in close contact with them, and as soon as they feel like they can accept an invitation, we will post their phone numbers in the post also. They right now have one cell phone, and they're thinking they're gonna get a landline, but they haven't gotten that yet. So I talked to them this morning, and they've gotten their television hooked up and are getting all the little odds and ends like doors that aren't opening correctly fixed by maintenance, but they still feel a little overwhelmed. So give them another few days before we start inviting them to eat. And as Debbie had said, we have several move-ins expected between now and the end of the year, and we're excited about that, and we'll keep you posted.
thank you, Ellen. The library, Michelle.
Thank you for the wonderful donations of books and DVDs. Although our library space is limited, we try hard to accommodate as many books and DVDs as possible. Recently, we've donated what we couldn't fit into the library to Anaheim Public Library. Thank you also for sending us your book and DVD requests. We'll also we are able to put things aside for you if we just know what you want to read. Just as important, we appreciate your willingness to share with your friends and neighbors by returning items, especially the newer ones, in a timely way to the library. During the last COVID outbreak, we were happy to deliver books to a few of our quarantined residents and a visitor, and later pick them up again. Afterward, books are quarantined for at least 6 days. Please let us know if you would like to have a home delivery, whether you're ill and confined or not. We're grateful to residents and volunteer staff for their donations, for their time this month. We thank Judy Campbell, Betty Dauber, and Kathy Stanek for contributing book reader commentary in the newsletter. We welcome resident reviews and opinions. If you'd like to send one to me or let me know you want to send one to me. The library volunteer, Kathy Stanek, embellishes our library wall displays with imaginative finesse. Carol Marsh performs readings on a regular basis for appreciative residents. Marilyn Raymond listens carefully to visiting borrowers to see how she can help them find what they need and want. Terry Taylor crafts elegant solutions for our continuously changing collection needs. Recent donations from residents include 3 oversized books and a set of DVDs. The time chart of biblical history contains 16 fold-out panels, 12 inches by 17 inches, showing 4,000 years of charts, maps, lists, and chronologies. The complete Phantom of the Opera describes the original history of the Phantom, the novel, 2 films, and the musical. And finally, a book called Gone with the Wind explains with photos and details much about the movie and the story. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Musical theater, Gary.
Oh, hello everyone. Okay, the October birthday show was a big success. Thank you for coming. The November show, we're going to have a performer who specializes in Broadway music. His name is Gray Ramondi. Yeah, it should be interesting. First time here, so it should be good. So we need support to make him feel like he's welcome. Our birthday, of course, the birthday dinner still is at 5 p.m., so if you're invited to the birthday dinner because it's your birthday, make sure you're there at 5. Our committee meeting is held the 3rd Monday of each month at 1 p.m. in the LLC. And of course, I want to thank all our volunteers and committee members for all their hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Safety and grounds, Merlin.
I'm not sure this is part of safety in the grounds, but you know, we report lights that are out, and we've been calling the lady at the desk out there and notifying people, and they replace light bulbs, and that's worked out real well. I want to warn you though, this light bulb that's out right over here on the right of the door, don't report that when you go out, because I reported it this morning, and they don't need 70 reports to replace one light bulb. But you're doing a great job of turning things in. Keep that up. There's been a lot of lighting issues that's been taken care of, and a lot of them been done. The string lights out in the courtyard we're all working. There's a lot of lights. Every once in a while, there's a light that's needs to be replaced. If you did walk across the street this morning, and did you notice any new painting areas there? How about those blue lines for parking for people with special situations? It looks nice out there. Ethan is picking up on those and taking care of that, and he records what you send into him and then organizes it and gets a lot more done than perhaps has been done in the past. He has a lot going on right now. You've noticed a lot of units, electrical units going in that makes extra work for his people as well. We appreciate your input. Whenever you see something that needs to have some attention, and things seem to be working well. Is there any questions that you might like to ask? There's a lot of things going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Merlin. Scholarship, Virginia.
Hello, everyone. The Scholarship Committee met on October 17th, and this time we reviewed and approved 2 applications. Guillermo Sotelo, who's an employee for 4 years and 10 months with us, was awarded $3,364 for this term's expenses in Cal State Long Beach. Guillermo, who cooks in the kitchen, is completing courses for his master's program in finance. So his goals are not related specifically to his job here. It is interesting, he's been in school almost all the time of those 4 years, and he has not put in an application for assistance until now. And he said, well, his expenses weren't so much at the JC, but now he's moving to where expenses are greater. So we're happy to support him, and would have been all along. Also, the second report is another Sotelo, and that is the brother Syed. Many of you are more familiar with Syed because he serves us in the bistro, or in the Grove and the bistro. And his goals are for a nursing program. He's attending Cypress College, and so his expenses were just $332, which we awarded to him. Also, I want to mention, because many of you knew Carol Bergquist, we had a non-resident donation in her name to the scholarship committee. And you remember Carol was always so interested in this particular program, so I did want to make you aware of that. Otherwise, the next meeting of the committee is right after this meeting. So, committee members, Fran, Jimmy, Gloria, Debbie will be there. Hudalibab. Annette, our secretary. Please come, Annette, we need you.
Thank you, Virginia. Judy Marsh is off today, so maybe he's going to do her thing.
Either one will work. Okay, so Judy's taking some well-deserved time off, so we'll kind of report what's going on in her department this month. Obviously, you guys know that we fell back on Saturday night, so hopefully you all enjoyed that extra hour of sleep. Tomorrow, in case you haven't heard, is Election Day. If you haven't dropped off your ballot yet, you can drop them off at the front desk, and then Sandy or Judy will be able to get them over to a Dropbox. Veterans Day, Judy's still doing her usual Veterans Day program, 10 o'clock in the morning here in the PAC on Friday, which is, of course, Veterans Day. Beach City Band will be back on the 14th at 7 o'clock here in the PAC. And then on the 15th at 7:30 p.m., and I don't see her, Mac Trevor Remembrance, and I'm not sure where the location is. I don't know if it's here or LLC. But by the way, if you haven't seen Patty Trevor's in honor of Mac's Caregiver Resource Center over by the clinic, be sure to check it out. Really helpful resources. As Gary mentioned, on the 17th is the birthday show here at 3 p.m. Town Hall on the 18th at 10 a.m. here, and then Judy has an outing meeting at the front lobby at 8:30 a.m. sharp on Saturday the 19th for the Nutcracker Boutique. And then, of course, we have Thanksgiving dinner on the 24th, and the dining team's putting together a lovely buffet. On the 27th, which is a Sunday, Judy is taking folks to the Nixon Library for a Handel Messiah sing-along. And then on the 28th of November is the monthly outing to Pechanga. So lots of fun stuff going on. So enjoy that.
Thank you, Debbie. Is there any old business left over from the previous months? George?
For Debbie, when is the transition for the Continental Breakfast into the new show?
Monday.
We're planning on doing it this coming Monday, the 14th. 14th.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Any other comments? Any new business? Don?
Last Thursday, I got a letter from Omaha, Nebraska, advising me that I had become the lucky recipient of a tax refund from the state of California. It was accompanied by a letter from the Bank of New York, and I, of course, since I work in a law enforcement type group, had it set up for an inspection of being a fraud. Well, interestingly enough, both today's newspaper and our computer system says it's a real deal. So if you get a debit card with an unknown amount of money for it, you can go to the California Franchise Tax Board and get it all worked out. Or you can rent it to it over the internet or on the phone. But it's just another gift from your tax money being returned to you.
Okay, if you filed your tax electronically, it will be automatically put in your banking account, and mine was there this morning, so it is not a fraud.
You got your refund? Today?
It's from the state of California, and it's anywhere from $200 to $1,025. And like I said, if you filed your California taxes electronically, they will automatically put it in your checking account or your banking account. DJ?
I didn't pay my taxes, I think this year, but I haven't for next year, for this year.
Well, you can't file next year for this year till next year.
I know, but I got one of those debit things.
That was from last year, from filing your taxes last year.
They give me a big check. They raise my, no, I gotta pay more taxes.
This is the weirdest new business I've been in. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn, please? Second. All in favor to adjourn, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes have it for